So you mean to tell me she held out for 6 months and then when she finally give it to you, she did what? Nah, I would have got 40 years too.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Also, if you're looking for a good movie to watch tonight on Tubi, make sure you click on the link in the comment section at the top. The movie is called Finders Keepers. Go check it out. Back in the day, I had this homeboy. Well, I'm not even going to call him a homeboy. I had this friend when I was about 10 years old and he was 7 years old. My mother and his mother was best friends. So naturally, we became friends. So I'm going to say I was about 3 years older than him. He was 7 and I was maybe 10. He came from a good upbringing. You know, his mama worked in GM. His daddy worked in GM. He was basically spoiled. He had everything that he wanted in life. So it was very surprising years later, let's say about 20 years later, big surprise to me when he walked into my pod in prison. So when I see him, I'm looking at him like, because I ain't seen this dude in maybe 10, 15 years. So he done changed a lot. But, you know, when you don't see somebody for a long time, you can tell like it's them, you know. So I seen him and I'm like, hey, Marco. And he was looking around and I said, Marco, it's Dante. So he walked over there. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? And I was like, what's up, man? I'm like, you remember me? He was like, yeah, man, you what's the name son, right? I said, yeah. I said, man, how you been? He was like, man, I've been good. I mean, outside of, you know, what I'm doing here. I said, all right, man, how much time you got? He was like, man, I got 20 years, man. I said, 20? He said, yeah, 20 to 40. I said, oh. He said, well, I guess I could tell you what happened. I said, all right, hold on. Where you sleeping at? He was like, I don't know yet. I said, well, shoot, my bunk open right here. You can get the top rack. So he was like, all right, bet. So I'm helping him put his stuff up. And we just chatting. So I'm like, so what happened? Like, what you went here for? And he was like, man, it's a long story, man. I said, well, we got all day. That's one thing we do got is time. So he like, yeah. So we sitting on my bed and he like, so I was basically dating this girl from Detroit. And, you know, she was just like super, super sexy. I said, okay, bet. And he was like describing everything. He was like, she was like slim, thick, and that's real petite. And she worked out a lot. And, you know, I like to work out too. But she really worked out a lot. Like she was a health nut. I said, okay. So he said they was dating for about 3 months and she would not give him none at all. So I'm like, what was that all about? Was she trying to be celibate? He was like, bro, I wish that was the case. Well, let me finish the story. So he said, like, after 3 months of her not giving him none, you know, he basically told her, like, listen, I really like you. I'm in love with you, but I'm a man and I just feel like, you know, I don't want to cheat on you. I'm not trying to cheat on you at all, but, you know, I got my needs too. And so she was like, okay, but if we do it, we got to do it with a condom on. So he said, all right, shoot, I ain't tripping off that. So he said they end up messing around when they put on the condom, whatever. It was all good, all gravy. So he said from that day, they was messing around every day from like literally like every day from their day 4. So he said at first they was using condoms and then they wasn't, then they was, and they wasn't, then they just stopped wearing them all together. So I said, okay, y'all was getting y'all freak on. So he was like, well, turns out, you know, her baby daddy, she had a kid that I didn't know nothing about. And the kid was 8 years old. So I was like, wait, hold up. So you didn't know she had a kid? He said, no, man, she was living like she was single and had no kids or whatever. But her baby daddy ended up reaching out to me. And first I thought it was like a hater or a stalker. And he writing me talking about, yeah, you gonna be surprised and she gonna do you dirty like she did me and she got a kid. So I said, so what I mean, what was he saying? He was like, man, he was just talking bad about it, like talking real down or talking about she a deadbeat and she's selfish and he trying to warn me to stay away from her. So I'm looking at it like, shoot, dude just hating and he needs to just move around. So I said, yeah, that's what it sounded like. That he was like, nah, I should have listened. I said, why? He said, just hold on, let me finish tell you the story, D. So I said, all right, what's going on? So he was like, so basically I didn't say nothing to her about, her ex, but I was real curious though, like about the kid situation. Like, if you got a kid out here that's 8 years old, like why you ain't in his life? So he said that he just let that, ponder on his mind. And so he got up the courage one day and asked her, like, hey baby, I need to talk to you. And she's like, what's up? He was like, we've been together for a couple of months and you know, I ain't gonna lie. Supposedly your ex, he reached out to me and he said that, you got an 8-year-old kid and, you grimy and you did them both. Is there any truth to any of this? So she was like, he reached out to you? He was like, yeah, he reached out to me. So she was like, well, okay, so this is the truth. I was in a relationship with the guy that that reached out to you, and yes, we do have an 8-year-old kid. But listen, just listen, okay? There's something I have to tell you. And he like, what? What is it? What you got to tell me, baby? And she like, do you remember why I said that I didn't want to rush into being intimate? He was like, yeah, I remember. She was like, well, that was a reason. First, I had to make sure that I could trust you. And then I had to make sure that, we both were safe to do it. And he like, okay, okay. So she was like, I'm gonna tell you something, but I just don't want to tell you right now because I don't want I don't want anything to ruin what we got going on, okay? So he like, all right, baby, just take your time, but like, what's up with the kid situation? And she was like, well, we'll talk about that too. Just let me get some more time or whatever. So he was like, all right, baby, whatever. So days would go by, a week would go by. So he come to her and tell her like, hey, baby, I'm feeling kind of under the weather, whatever. And she like, okay, well, I got a concoction for you. You can take these vitamins or whatever. And he was like, all right, whatever. So she's been giving this guy vitamins, supposedly. She's been giving him pills for like the next 2 months. And it's like he can never shake this cold at all. He just can't shake it. So he tells her like, man, baby, I think I'm about to go to the hospital, man, because I feel like I got the flu, man, and these pills you're giving me, it ain't doing nothing. So she like, all right, well, if you go to the hospital, just call me when you get out or whatever. So he said he go to the hospital and they run a test and they just not seeing what's wrong with him. He's saying that he feel fatigue, he can't keep nothing down, he got the shakes, like he's hot, he's cold at the same time. So he's like, man, like what is up with me? The doctors is baffled. They like, man, we don't know, man. We done ran every test and we done ran STD tests. Well, let's do a HIV test. Let's just run that test and a hepatitis test, and let's just run them. So they run the test, and they come back, and they like, well, there's nothing wrong with you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. You just get some rest. They like, so do you work? He said, yeah, I work. And they like, okay, are you sexually active? Yeah, I'm sexually active with my girl. And, is it an open? Do y'all both? Is y'all exclusive or you like? Yeah, I mean, we just. I'm assuming we just with each other. And the doctor said, okay, well, I mean, just get some rest or whatever. So he like, all right. So he called his girl and he tell her like, well, the doctor say that there's nothing wrong with me. He done ran every test in the book and there's nothing wrong with me. So she like, well, just come home. Just come on. So he come to her apartment, right? And she fixed him some chicken noodle soup and she give him some more pills. So he's in the bed and he just really going through it, y'all. So she had to go to work. So he got this banging headache. He said he had this banging headache. So he said he get out the bed and he go to the medicine cabinet and get an ibuprofen or something, right? So he said he opened up the medicine cabinet and he just looking at all these different pills. And he just looking like, okay, because he was trying to find the ibuprofen. But he see all these different pills and he know what the vitamins look like, but it's a lot of different pills. Now he know, like, my girl is a health nut, so maybe she taking all these pills for her body or whatever. So he get to looking through for the ibuprofen. He sees it, so he popped 3 of them. That was the 250 one. So he took what 750, right? Dosage. So he popped it. So now he looking at all these other pills, and he like, let me see what these pills about. So he pull out his phone and he get to Googling some of them. And one of them for like low iron, one for like potassium, and the other one is for HIV. So he said, huh? Hold up, what? So he looked and he like, hold on, this the pill that she was giving me. Oh, heck no. So he look, he like, hold on. This girl, why is she taking HIV pills? So he like, oh my goodness. So he called her, he like, babe, I need for you to come home right now. We need to talk, like right now. She like, is it important? Yes, I need you here right now. So she get to the house about an hour later. And he's sitting on the bed and he got the pills in his hand. He said, what type of pills is these? And she looking at him. She was like, um, it's medication. He like, medication for what? She like, well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. So he like, okay, get to talking. Well, okay, so yes, I do got an 8-year-old child. And the guy that I got the child by, he gave me he gave me that. That's why I gotta take the medication. He said, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that you gave me? She said, yeah, that's why I was giving you the pill so it can be like a blocker so you wouldn't get it. But I mean, you said the doctors, ran tests on you when you ain't have nothing. So he like, man, so you telling me you knew that you had this? And she was like, well, that's why I didn't want to sleep with you because, I want to make sure that we was going to be together, whatever. He like, so what does mean? I'm going to die or something? I'm going to die? That's why I'm sick? So she was like, no, it's just the medicine is just going through your body and, your immune system is trying to fight it off. And I'm just trying to get the right dosage to you so you won't get it. So he like, so you basically gave me a death sentence, huh? She was like, no, man, you can get through this. So he was like, so what happened with the 8-year-old kid? So she was like, basically, when he gave that to me and I found out I was pregnant, I didn't want to have nothing to do with him or the kid. So I just basically signed all my rights away and let him keep the kid. And, every time I get with somebody, he always figuring out who I'm with and end up stalking them and, telling my business and stuff. Well, he didn't tell me. He didn't tell me. He didn't tell me. He didn't tell me that that y'all got this. So she was like, so what, you gonna leave me now? He was like, I mean, I'm with you now. That I don't know, man, but I'm gonna go to the doctors again because something ain't right. She was like, I'm telling you, it's the pills. It's the pills. So we gonna fast forward a week later because he said he was bedbound. His mama had to come over to the crib and help take care of him. So he said he started feeling better. He started feeling good. So he said he go to the clinic again and they run the tests again. And guess what, y'all? He got it. He got the package. So the doctor tell him like, yeah, okay, so you got it, and but this not a death sentence anymore. So if you take these pills, and you're gonna be feeling like crap, but trust me, just keep taking the pills, and you can live a long, healthy life with this. So he like, man. So the doctor asked him questions like, have you been with other women or men or whatever? He like, no, I'm not gay, and you know, I only been with my girl, but she got it. She got it. So that's just what that is. So he said that when he when he got back home, she was sitting at the table, and she told him like, "Hey, I need to talk to you about something." He like, "What's up?" She like, "I just been thinking, I don't want to be with you anymore." And he was like, "What?" She was like, "I don't want to be with you anymore. You just a negative vibe on my life, and I just don't want to be with you no more." So he said he was just standing there, and he like, hold up. So you give me something that is a hazard to my life, and then you tell me that you don't want to be with me after I found out that I got something that you gave me? He said all he know is he blacked out. Now, when it comes to this part, y'all, I don't know if he really blacked out, or maybe he did. Or maybe he went insane for a couple minutes of what he did. So he said he blacked out. And he said when he came to, baby girl was just laying right there on the floor, lifeless. And he said that his hands was just coming off from around her neck. He basically choked her to sleep, like a permanent sleep. So he said he sat there for a minute, and he got to slapping her like, "Wake up, wake up, wake up, girl, wake up." She ain't wake up. She didn't wake up at all. She done passed away. He done took this girl life, y'all. So he said he was just sitting there for a minute, and then the magnitude of what he just did just sank in. So he instantly called his mama and was like, Ma, I just did so and so. I just, took so and so life, man. I got, she gave me this, and she just broke up with me. The mama like, calm down, calm down. Just come to my house, baby. Come to my house. Right? So now Marco is on the run. Marco is on the run for 3 months, and he hiding out at mama house. And naturally, the detectives come over there. He go hide up in the attic, right? Let me tell y'all something about family. Do y'all remember when I said, why have enemies when you have family and friends? Well, Crime Stoppers was offering $5,000 for the apprehension leading, you know, because of the death of the girlfriend. So they want an arrest made, and they got 5 bands out on dude head basically. So his cousin that he ain't really close with, but close enough. Long story short, end up turning him in for that 5 bands. Police come there. They like, yeah, we already know where he at. He in the attic. Come on down, Marco. Come on down. So he come on down without a fight. Right? Now he in here with me, and he's telling me this story. So after he get done telling me the story, I'm like, so are you still taking the pills? He like, yeah, but since I got arrested, man, they ain't been giving me my medication. So I'm like, well, you gonna have to put a grievance in, and talk to the nurse when she come through. I'm pretty sure you divulged all this information, in intake and process. He was like, yeah, but they still ain't gave me my pills, man. I said, well, on the second thought, I'm gonna need for you to move. He like, why? What you mean? I said, listen, I'm kind of like a germophobic kind of, and I'm not really educated on how, this thing works. So I'm not trying to offend you or nothing, but I just don't want to catch that. You know what I'm saying? He like, nah, bro, it ain't like that. You couldn't, you wouldn't be able to catch it for us just talking. I said, no, I get that. I get that. I understand that. But, now that I know what you got, I kind of don't even really want you around me, dog. He like, oh, for real. I say, yeah, man, it ain't nothing personal, but just saying, dog, it's just prison. And, you know what I'm saying? He like, so you want me to move? I said, yeah, I would really appreciate it. He was like, okay, well, I'll go find another bunk. I said, all right. And I was like, hey, listen, Marco, I ain't gonna tell nobody neither, cause ain't nobody business. But me and you still cool, we still good. But until you get them pills, homie, you know, it is what it is. Let me tell y'all something. Number one, that HIV is still going on. It's still going on out here. So y'all stop paying attention to this new age stuff for people saying you only live one time and all this and that. Even though that they even got, these pills for you to live, an extra 20, 25 years to keep that at bay. Why go through that? You know what I mean? Why go through that? So, and I get it. Sometimes people just don't know. And, it all it takes is one time, to go unprotected with somebody or whatever the case is. But, we got one life and one body, man. Cherish your life, man. Cherish your body. Be careful out there, y'all. With that, I'm out.
Also, if you're looking for a good movie to watch tonight on Tubi, make sure you click on the link in the comment section at the top. The movie is called Finders Keepers. Go check it out.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.